The U.S. Supreme Court just got involved in making sure the election is fair. Along straight ideological lines, the High Court has just cleared the way for Virginia to remove non-citizens from its voting rolls, basically upholding Virginia's election laws. Former U.S. Attorney Andy McCarthy, moments ago.
It's the only result that really makes sense. What Virginia was trying to do was take people off the ballot who are not voters because they're not Americans, and that's by their own admission. And this idea that this could prevent or mistakenly result in American citizens from Virginia not being able to vote is bogus, because under Virginia law, let's say they've taken you off the ballot mistakenly. Under Virginia law, if you show up to vote on election day and you attest that you are an American citizen.
Matt Whitaker, former acting U.S. Attorney General and Trump campaign surrogate, with me now. So you have looked at this issue before this quick vote or quick ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court. By the way, we've just heard Governor Glenn Youngkin is at an event right now. He's going to step up and call into us just moments from now. I want to let the audience know that. But so this seemed very quick, Matt.
Yeah, it does, but it's a pretty simple issue, and the issue is whether or not these were individual voters that were being cleaned off the rolls or whether it was systematic cleaning of the rolls. And obviously the district court and the appeals court suggested it was systematic, but the state of Virginia was adamant these were individual non-citizens. Remember, it's illegal for a non-citizen to register and say they're a citizen. It's also illegal for a non-citizen to vote, and they should expect, if they do vote illegally, they will be prosecuted.
So what's interesting about that, then, is it really goes in concert with what Virginia's law is over this issue and what the governor has told me on this very program when this popped up last week with a lawsuit from the Justice Department. And that is simply, you check a box saying whether or not you're a non-citizen, or you leave it blank. They both accomplish the same thing. You're in question now, and you have to cure that in several ways. The state gets in touch with you to repair that. So this isn't just a matter of someone thinking so-and-so was a non-citizen.
No, that's a good point, Harris. And, you know, if you are taken off the rolls, there's a way to cure that. And you pointed out they send you a letter. You can cure it before, or you can go to the polls on election day, attest that you're a citizen, and vote. So there's many ways to make sure that this doesn't violate people's ability to vote. But remember, it is illegal for non-citizens to vote, yes, and for non-citizens to register and say they're a citizen.
Matt Whitaker, great to have you so quick on this breaking news. Let's get also on this breaking news. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin joining me now. So, Governor, joining us by phone, when you and I spoke just last week, had you any idea that this decision would be made so quickly by the highest court in the land?
Well, as you can imagine, I'm incredibly pleased with the decision today, and the Supreme Court reacted quickly. I want to thank our Attorney General, Jason Miyares, and his team's amazing work. And this is a victory for common sense, and it's a victory for the Constitution. And I also believe it's real clarity that, in fact, someone who self-identifies as a non-citizen should, in Virginia, be treated by the law, which says you get 2 weeks. You'll be notified, and if you can attest that you are a citizen, then you'll be allowed to vote. And if you can't, then you're taken off the rolls. And we do have the ultimate safeguard, which is you can come day of and you can register same day and cast a provisional ballot. And therefore, no one is being precluded from voting who is a citizen in the United States and in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Again, this is a victory for common sense, and I just want to thank the Supreme Court for moving quickly, and, of course, the great legal team that we have here in the Commonwealth of Virginia under our Attorney General, Jason Miyares.
Look, Governor, I know you stepped away from an event. I won't hold you long. What happens now with those 1,600 approximate people who were removed for either checking a box or it was proven that they were non-citizens? What happens with them?
So the voter rolls are as they are today. They will not be added back because we had a stay on the injunction, and therefore the 1,600 people who self-identified as non-citizens are not being added back. And if someone can come attest that they are a citizen and wants to same-day register and cast a provisional ballot, please come vote. And again, I want to reiterate, all citizens in America and all citizens in Virginia should vote. This is an incredibly important election. The future of the country hangs in the balance, and I encourage everyone, go vote.
Look, there are concerns in other states right now. This quick action by the U.S. Supreme Court, what does it sort of maybe inform the voting public, teach people who are heads of state like yourself about how quickly the U.S. Supreme Court will act? Some might have said, well, they wouldn't get, involved right before an election.
Well, again, I think this is a victory for common sense and a victory for the Constitution. And as governor, I swore that I would support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I'm just so proud of the team's fortitude to stay with what we know is right. It's constitutionally correct. It's consistent with our law that's been on the books for 18 years. And on top of that, common sense says that non-citizens should not be in the voter roll.
Real quickly, with the influx of people, millions and millions of them, many of them illegal in the last 3.5 years, is there a concern that people who are here would try to vote? I mean, does it make the job even more important to identify non-citizens?
Well, again, in the Commonwealth of Virginia, we have taken this issue head on and made sure that we are using a legal process that starts in our DMVs when someone comes in for a temporary driver's license or something, and they self-identify as a non-citizen, to make sure that if they are on the voter rolls, then this process starts to remove them if they are non-citizens. And this is a very good law. But let me just take it one step further. Speaker Johnson's advocacy for a national law to demonstrate that you are a citizen before you are allowed to vote is critical. And I do hope that America will extend our majority in the House, flip our Senate, and put Donald Trump back in the White House for lots of reasons, one of which is we need federal legislation to make it very clear on what it takes to register to vote in America.
That's interesting. I wrote that down, Speaker Johnson's national law on that. And do you think this helps that along? Does this give that more oomph, if you will, in terms of getting people's attention on this issue?
Again, the constitutionality of this is critical. And on top of that, common sense wins today. And again, I have said over and over and over again that Americans and Virginians want common sense back in leadership. They want common sense in the White House. They want common sense in Congress. They want us to do the things that, in fact, address the problems of the nation, secure the border, be strong internationally, develop an economy that it lifts up all Americans with high growth and low inflation, and let's make America strong again. That is what this election is all about. And at the heart of it is doing things that we know are right, that are commonsensical, not illogical.
Your victory via the U.S. Supreme Court today, Governor, keeping non-citizens that you've identified or whom have identified themselves off the voting rolls. Thank you for being here with me in focus with your first reaction. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Everybody, go vote.
Go vote. Amen.